I agree. I think Golden State is the overwhelming favorite here. They have played very well down the stretch. Steph Curry has found himself again. Steve Kerr has legalized Steph Curry to continue playing that way on into the playoffs. They're an overwhelming favorite. I think they'll beat Cleveland if it's Cleveland in 6, maybe even 5 games in the finals.
Wow.
As long as Draymond keeps his feet to himself and doesn't tackle anyone, they have to be better, right? They were up 3-1 against the Cavs last year, and now they added Kevin Durant. Steph Curry, like you said, playing better. So I think everyone's just going to elevate together. Plus, the Cavs worry me right now. They really do. I think we could see a meltdown at any minute.
Yeah, I don't think Golden State goes 7 in any series. I think they go 5 with Portland, 4 or 5 with the Clippers, 5 or 6 with the Spurs, and 6 with the Cavs. And the Cavs, to your point, the only reason, let's face it, the only reason we think they're going to not, if you give them a chance to challenge Golden State, but even get to the finals, is because in LeBron we trust. We haven't seen anything over the past, 3 months to make us think they can even win the East. Their record since the All-Star game was the 9th best in the East. So if the All-Star game was like the beginning of the season, they wouldn't have even made the playoffs. So we're just all saying, look, LeBron's so great, he's going to be able to win the East and get them to the finals. But we really haven't seen evidence of that. So I think, yeah, Golden State should be favored heavily.
And how much did the Cavs have to do with that? Again, their play, think about it, at the beginning of the season, it was, well, can Golden State, blend the talents of Kevin Durant and get back? Cleveland has already said it's a no-brainer. Then that narrative shifted on the second half of the season because of Cleveland. I think you made a great point yesterday in regards to Cleveland now being the villain a little bit, in regards to sitting out players and all of this. So you have that to deal with from the perception perspective. And overwhelming, yes, Golden State, just because of how they're playing and Cleveland is not doing the job. It's going to be interesting to me. To me, I just want to see that first-round series with Cleveland just to see if we see a semblance of who they were early in the season. If they do that...
You think we're even going to get that in the first round? I think we're still going to see regular season type.
That's what I'm saying. I hope we do, because there are little things to me defensively that I can pick out, or you can pick out and say, that's a little bit different than what they were doing late in the season.
I want to get us back on point. We've circled back to the Cavaliers. I want to circle back to Golden State. I thought you made an interesting point about no one taking them 7. And so they kind of took the regular season off. And so there's 28 possible games for them to play in the postseason. I think for them to establish their greatness, they need to play as few of those 28 games as possible. Again, they should be hunting 4-4-4 and can't get there. But I am going to judge this team on how quickly they dispatch these opponents. That's how they can establish their greatness. They didn't want to go for it in the regular season. I hope they're ready to go for it in the postseason. And the fewer number of games they play, the more credit I'll give them.
That is a good point, because they really weren't going for 73. I think they could have chased it. I don't know if they could have gotten it.
Why?
But because it was like we saw that straining to win 73, and then we didn't win the championship.
No, that's what I'm saying. Why would they even try to do that?
Oh,
it was detrimental to them.
But to Jason's point, those are the types of things that get you remembered as an all-time great team. If you do win 70, it doesn't have to be 73. You win 70 and run through the playoffs, then people are looking at you as an all-time great team. So I agree with you. If they
play 20
lose
games.
1 game or 2 games in the whole playoffs,
but wouldn't it be something
else? Erased if they win the championship.
It's still a championship. Is a championship.
Yeah.
But there are, we judge teams by how dominant they were in the playoffs, too. So,
when I think of great playoff teams, the first thing I think of is Moses Malone's 4-4-4 team. Yeah. That was a dominant, and I think they lost
Lakers
1 game.
Team that only lost 1 to Iverson.
Yeah, so this Golden State team, think about it, I think it was 12 teams that have won 67-plus games, in the history of the game, and 8 of them won a championship. So you're talking about putting yourself in a position, if you're Golden State, to be in the upper echelon. And a lot of those teams, we're talking about Boston, L.A., some of the Celtic teams back in the day. But this Golden State team has a chance to not only do it this year, but down the line because of their core. And I think how they're built organizationally. Guys are willing to play together. And you can see that on the court. And again, I picked the Cavs at the beginning because I thought that Kyrie was the difference. I'm still hoping that the Cavs come around. But this is a very special Golden State team.